This is a story about how I almost joined a cult. Yeah, not proud of that one. To save my own ass from getting sued, I'm not gonna tell you guys what state this happened in, what year. I never posted anything about this church, so thank you. This was at a time in my life, could have been yesterday, could have been 5 years ago. You don't freaking know. I really don't wanna get sued, so I'm sorry. I just have to like try to like save my ass. But this was at a time in my life when I was looking for a good church. And my friend, which it kills me that my friend recommended this church. My friend was like, you should come to my church. And I was like, oh my God, having a friend at church? Count me in, girlfriend or boyfriend. One Sunday morning, I put on a cute little church outfit, very modest, you know, and I went to church, baby. I went to church. When I came in, I couldn't find my friend. It was like a bigger church, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like challenge myself to sit by myself and I'll just catch up with my friend after. It wasn't really a big deal to me. So I sat in like the middle of the crowd alone. They came out and they did worship. When they were doing worship, everyone crowded to the front like it was like a mosh pit, like it was a concert. Everyone was going boogie with it, and I was like, okay, like everyone's hella passionate about my man Jesus, like let's go sing them songs. And then it just went so downhill from there. Then we get into the service of it all. You know, I was feeling good. It seemed like a pretty regular church to me at this point, but I just remember being like, wow, okay. Okay, we love Jesus. I love him too. Let's go. The kids left because they have like a little like, I feel like every church has something for the kids. 2 pastors or speakers came out. They started doing a worship, and I'll get to the crazy part in just a second. But I remember when they were kind of just like preaching, I was like, I don't know, like kind of felt off. I was like, okay. They asked everyone to stand up who either had a mental illness, a physical illness, addiction, etc., etc. People started to stand up, and I was like, wow, that's really cool that like people feel so comfortable in their church to like admit that like not everything's perfect. I love when people are vulnerable and honest. And then things went so downhill. The male speaker claimed that he was going to heal everybody with the power of Jesus. I remember they went up to a man first, and people who worked at the church and from the audience crowded around this man and put up their right hand and like touched him on his shoulder, his back, his head. Everyone started chanting. The pastor said, "You are now healed with Jesus." And this happened for multiple people and groups of people. They told a story about how they healed a little girl with cancer. If you're confused on why this is bad, you might be like, what? They're healing people, McCall. Why is this bad? Because it's false hope. Any church that plays Jesus is not an actual church. So this man was claiming that he got to decide who in that room was healed. The appropriate way of going about things would be to have everyone stand up and to say a group prayer asking for Jesus and God to watch over these people and taking care of these people. But this man looked at these people in their eyes and said, you are now healed. As in, I healed you. I did that. I just healed your mental illness, your physical illness, your physical disability, etc., etc. To some of you, this might sound familiar because there actually, historically, is that the right word? Was a famous cult leader who did this exact tactic and then took his church out of the country and then eventually killed them. This cult leader was named Jim Jones.
Jim would command people in the crowd. He'd be like, I command your headache to vanish. Jim would declare that these people were healed.
I command cancer to be removed. I command it.
I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that this church is going to kill anybody. I left the church that day feeling really weird. I did not know about the story of this cult leader yet. I just left thinking to myself, that feels really wrong that they just pointed to people and said, you are now healed. Because that's not how it works. Because if that's how it worked, then no one would ever suffer, ever. Just about a month ago, I was watching Bailey Sarian here on YouTube, who does true crime stories, and she told the story of this cult leader. When I was done watching that video, my jaw was on the floor because I was like, oh my God, I witnessed this tactic being used in real life right in front of me. And it was pretty darn freaky. I am not claiming that this church had any affiliation with Jim Jones. I'm not claiming that this church was a cult. I'm not claiming that this church meant to harm anybody. But what the freak? You're just gonna point to random people and be like, I just healed you. You don't get such shoes, who that happens to. And that was the time I accidentally joined a cult for the day. Happy Halloween, everybody. I will see you guys soon with an all new video. Bye, friends.